You know how sometimes stuff just, comes across your desk and you question whether or not it's real because it just seems so out there, so extreme, so parody that you're like, nah, this is clearly a meme. This is clearly a meme. There's absolutely no way that this is real. But I'm on the official website itself, and yes, this is in fact real. This is about the Tolkien Society, the famed and beloved creator of the Lord of the Rings universe. You may have heard of me on EFAP because I am a big fanboy of Lord of the Rings. Absolutely love Lord of the Rings. But the Tolkien Society has been drastically overtaken by the wokies, like so much so to the point where when I looked at the schedule for this event, I thought it was fake. I thought someone made it up, but no, this is completely real. But before we get into the video, yes, that's right, even this channel is now sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. And we are going to talk about the bosses. Firstly, the Fire Knight, who is really challenging because his shield makes him immune to debuffs and damage. So the best way to get around this is by using champions that can deliver multiple hits each turn to break past his shield so you can start damaging him. And secondly, Princess Avila, who can buff herself like crazy and she deals more damage the more buffs are on her. So to beat her, you need champions that can steal buffs, remove buffs, or reduce buff duration if you're to have any hope of bringing her down. And when I'm not fighting these bosses, you can find me making people cry in the PvP arena. And coming up in Raid Shadow Legends are the summer events, as well as a lot of new content, new champions, and also a new rotation of the Doom Tower. So click my link down below or scan the QR code on the screen to download Raid Shadow Legends, and if you are a new player you will get 200,000 silver, an XP booster, an energy refill, an ancient shard, and the champion Chonoru, who is really handy for making it through the Doom Tower. These rewards are only available to new players and only for the next 30 days, and you can find these rewards here in your inbox. Look at me, moving on up. Sponsors on the second channel. Also, for anybody that cares, I got the keys for the new studio yesterday, and I'm now in the process of buying furniture and getting stuff up and running and set up and all that, and hopefully soon we will be pumping out tons of videos every month. 2 videos a day on this channel, and the goal is 6 videos a month on the main channel. All kinds of stuff, all kinds of content, topics, all manners of things. Mad Lads as well, obviously. Mad Lads is the big thing. Mad Lads is what everybody enjoys. But anyway, let's get into this nonsense. So, the second Tolkien Society seminar of 2021 will be held on Saturday the 3rd and Sunday the 4th of July 2021 on Zoom. So it's going to be done via Zoom, obviously, because the pandemic has ruined everybody's fun. We will additionally be live streaming the event on our YouTube channel. That's going to go well. That's going to go well. I mean, if a friendly word of advice, lots of moderators. Lots. So, about the seminar. The Tolkien Society seminar is a short academic conference for both researcher-led and non-academic presentations on a specific theme pertaining to Tolkien scholarship. Now, the themes of Lord of the Rings, I'm very interested in them. I enjoy discussing them. The online setting of the 2020 seminar saw an increased interest with over 400 attendees from 37 countries. We are delighted to be running another online seminar that will be free for all. Smashing. That sounds great. And a seminar discussing things about Lord of the Rings and all that. Like, I would love that. One of the things that I love discussing is what the hell is Tom Bombadil? Because nobody knows. Even like the biggest researchers, like everybody that's proper interested in Lord of the Rings. No one has any idea what the hell Tom Bombadil's supposed to be. But anyway, that's something that's fun to discuss. I also I love discussing like the first age when the high fantasy was on steroids. When you had, Melkor, you had Ancalagon, a dragon so big that when he was killed, when he crashed into the earth, he literally destroyed mountains. He was that bloody big. Stuff like that. Fascinating, brilliant. Let's have a look at the schedule and see if such things will be discussed. Okay, so first off, Gondor in Transition, a brief introduction to the transgender realities in Lord of the Rings. I've read the books. I don't remember anything like that being mentioned in there. Are you talking about Sauron, who used to change his form all the time? Like, whenever he was in his, elf, if you want to call it that, physical form, he would sometimes looked like a sort of a mix between a man and a woman, but he was also, very, very beautiful and stuff like that, because that helped with him, beauty helps you corrupt people a lot easier. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's something to do with that. The next one. The Problem of Pain. Portraying physical disability in the fantasy of J.R.R. Tolkien. Oh my, the burnt hand teaches the most about fire, applying traumatic stress and ecological frameworks to narratives of displacement and resettlement across cultures in Tolkien's Middle-earth. Oh, colonialism. Damn orcs. Those damn humans coming from Numenor and settling on the mainland. Bloody colonisers. I mean, Numenor get plummeted into the depths by Iluvatar, but okay. Anyway, the invisible other, Tolkien's dwarf women, and the feminine lack. It's basically, as everyone's starting to see it now, basically every single part of Lord of the Rings, every single facet of it, everything, even if it doesn't in any way relate, they will make it relate to woke shit. Just woke bullshit. Just absolute nonsense. Projecting Indian myths, culture and history onto Tolkien's worlds. The loss of indigenuity, identity and anti-racism. The orcs are just misunderstood. The orcs are just misunderstood souls. They're a product of their environment. The problematic perimeters of Elrond Half-Elven and Ronald English Catholic. Oh my god. And listen, this is the thing, is like, see everything I listed there? Woke. All woke. Like, there's nothing that's like just about Lord of the Rings. There's nothing that's just about Lord of the Rings and discussing parts of Lord of the Rings. Everything has woke slammed right onto it and stapled in there. Because obviously the people that are hosting this event, that's the lens through which they see the world. They can't just see something and enjoy it. They have to stick the woke nonsense on there as well. Harkening to the other, Arabeth Finrod at Andreth. Now that's the only one that sounds like it actually has, like, that doesn't have any woke stuff on it. Oh wow, we found one, and it's at the end of the day. It's only half an hour, but still, at least it's something. And then we've got Saturday the 4th of July. Pardoning Saruman, the queer in Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. Yeah, whenever, I mean, I don't know if it's mentioned that Saruman, was queer in Lord of the Rings, because I didn't really care. I didn't really care. I'm more interested in how he was one of the Maiar that were sent to Middle-earth in order to actually capture, and stop Sauron. He was sent along with, he was sent in there with Gandalf the Grey, Radagast the Brown, and the two blue wizards whose names actually did get found out, but I'm sorry, I've forgotten them. And Saruman was supposed to be the leader of this, but yet he got a hold of the Palantir, and through that, Sauron managed to corrupt him. Right, so that's the stuff I was interested in. Saruman basically being a very in-depth character who was the wisest, fairest, white, symbolising purity. which is why his betrayal was such a huge shock, and, you know, something that was very major in the series, very in-depth character, and also played by an absolute badass. You know, things that I feel that we should focus on when discussing the character of Saruman, but no, let's talk about being queer. Which was not mentioned in the books. Okay. Desire of the Ring. Oh yes, that'd be a good topic to talk about. The ring's corruption, how it can corrupt and control people, because Sauron's biggest power wasn't his physical might, it was his ability to manipulate the weakness of the minds of men. That was, you know, brilliant. An Indian academic's adventures in her quest for the perilous realm. An Indian academic, what does that have to do? That has nothing to do with the subject matter. Queer atheists, agnostics, and animists, oh my. Hidden visions, iconographies of alterity in Soviet bloc illustrations for the Lord of the Rings. It is all our ring, comrade. We could use the ring. We could use the ring. We will all use the ring, comrade. Questions of caste in Lord of the Rings and its multiple Chinese translations. Everything is through the lens of wokeness. Absolutely everything. Stars Less Strange, an analysis of fan fiction and representation within the Tolkien fan community. That's the beautiful thing about Lord of the Rings. Like, Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth, you know, the entire world of Arda doesn't care if you're black, white, gay, lesbian. No, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You don't have to be a certain way to enjoy Lord of the Rings. It is for literally everyone. Like, I don't... Representation within the Tolkien fan community, like, I don't think there needs to be a talk about representation. Everybody from all walks of life likes Lord of the Rings because they're based. Something mighty queer. Destabilizing cis-hetero amato normativity in the works of Tolkien. Jesus Christ, man, that's a big pile of buzzwords. Like, translation as a means of representation and diversity in Tolkien scholarship and fandom. Now, let me discuss something here. You're obviously talking about diversity within the Tolkien fandom, right? And obviously, you must have looked at your own Tolkien society and realised there's a bit of a problem. You're probably wondering to yourself, it's not diverse enough in here. Why is no one joining? This is why. This is why no one's joining. See the reason that people enjoy these things like Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars and stuff like that? Because they don't get political. They don't talk about wokeness. They don't talk about politics, at least real world politics. Like, there's obviously imagined politics in some of these. But the reason that I enjoy these things, I enjoy these video games, I enjoy, like, I'm not very good at Dungeons and Dragons because I make too many jokes and I piss off the dungeon master all the time. Like, the reason I play these things is to escape from politics. I want to get lost in a wee fantasy world for a few hours before I get back into the real world and do my chores and pay my bills. Right? That's the reason that people enjoy these things. I refuse to look at the entire Lord of the Rings universe and Tolkien's works through the lens of wokeness. Because it ruins it. Wokeness ruins everything it touches. Right? If you want to have your Tolkien society and you want to have these talks and chats about all this crap, that is your right to do so. That's not a problem. If you want a little woke Lord of the Rings society, that is your right to do so. It's not going to be popular. It's not going to be popular, but that is absolutely your choice to have that. You want to have these chats and everything, which personally I think are absolute garbage, right? But it is your right to have these seminars and have these chats. It's just, when I first seen this list, I actually messaged Ryan Long on Twitter and said, did you write this? I actually had to ask him, did you write this? Because this is so over the top and so beyond parody that I'm like, this is fake. This is fake. There's no way this is real. Someone's wrote this as a meme to trigger the rightoids and all this stuff, and I was like, yeah, someone's obviously made this. This is blatant bait. I'm on their website right now. It's not bait. This is real. This is real. It's just going to be the exact same story as what happened with Dungeons and Dragons and all the other fandoms. Is basically the fandoms split in two. They split in two. You get the small woke part of the fandom, which for some reason, it's because they scream the loudest, have the ear of the creators and developers or writers of whatever the fandom is, and they sort of go, well, that's a nice franchise you have there, that's a nice movie, video game, whatever you have coming out. It'd be a shame if we made a bit of noise because it doesn't have a black transgender Muslim in it. Like, they're the ones, right? So basically the community splits and you've got these guys, the wokies, the idiots, the ones that ruin everything, that have the ear of the creators and the writers. And then you have the normal fans that just want to enjoy something fun, right? That's what's happening across the fandom. It's happened in Magic. It's happened in Magic. And it always turns out, you see the normal people that just want to enjoy it. They just go, I'm just here to play a game. I'm just here to read a nice book about elves and orcs. And all that. They make up the vast, overwhelming majority of the fandom, right? They're like, I just want to know how Iluvatar created the world with a song, right? I don't want to talk about transgender orcs, right? It's just, they ruin everything. They ruin everything. Yeah, have your little seminar, have all these dumb topics and everything, and I hope it goes well and you all have fun and you have a nice little chat. Friendly word of advice: if you are streaming it on YouTube, mods, lots and lots of mods.